Have you ever done a job, sent the invoice, waited patiently, sent a reminder, waited some more, and then started checking your bank account like it owes you an explanation? Let's talk about the first step in a small claim for debt recovery from the claimant side, checking whether the claim is actually suitable for a money claim. And to keep this simple, let's use an example. Adam is a sole trader electrician. He does electrical work for Bob. Adam finishes the job, sends the invoice, and Bob apparently decides that payment is now a myth invented by accountants. Before we go any further, this is a general guide only. It is not legal advice. It is not advice on what anyone should do in a specific case, and it is simply an overview of the process for people trying to understand it. So, starting with Adam's situation, the first question is this: is this actually the kind of dispute that may be suitable for a county court money claim? In basic terms, a money claim is generally used where someone says they are owed money by a person or a business. So if Adam carried out work, Bob agreed to pay, Adam invoiced Bob, and Bob has not paid, that may be the kind of civil debt dispute that could fall into that category. In other words, this is not about something criminal. It is not about trying to get revenge because Bob was annoying. And it is not about suing someone because they said, "I'll pay you tomorrow," when tomorrow apparently meant in another dimension. It is about whether money is said to be owed. The next point is making sure the defendant is correctly identified. This part matters a lot. You cannot just say, "Well, it was Bob. You know, Bob from the house with the grey door and the enthusiastic promises." The person or business being pursued has to be properly identified. So Adam needs to check who actually hired him. Was it Bob personally? Was it Bob as a sole trader? Was it a limited company? Was the invoice addressed to the right legal person or business? Because if the wrong defendant is named, that can cause real problems very quickly. The court process is not a guessing game. It is not close enough. Everyone knows who I mean. It needs to be accurate. Then there is the question of whether the amount is worth pursuing. That does not just mean, am I annoyed enough? Because let's be honest, Adam is probably extremely annoyed. He has done the work, sent the invoice, and is now being treated like the unpaid finale to Bob's home improvement project. But practical questions still matter. How much is owed? Is the amount significant enough to justify the time and effort? Is there evidence to support it? And even stepping back, if a claim were successful, is there any realistic prospect of getting paid? That is an important distinction. A person may feel they have a valid grievance, but that is not exactly the same as deciding that a court claim is worth pursuing in practice. So at this first stage, Adam is really doing a basic screening exercise. He is looking at questions like these. Was there an agreement? Did he actually do the work? Did he issue an invoice? Has payment fallen due? Has Bob failed to pay? And alongside that, Adam is asking whether this is genuinely a civil debt claim, whether Bob is the correct defendant, and whether the amount is worth pursuing. He is not yet trying to prove the whole case in court. He is not trying to deliver a dramatic closing speech in his kitchen while holding a folder of invoices. He is just checking whether the matter appears suitable, in principle, for a money claim. That is all this first step is. And it is worth saying clearly that this stage does not guarantee success. It does not mean Adam automatically wins. It does not mean every unpaid invoice should instantly become a county court claim. It just means he is checking whether the dispute appears to fit the type of claim the court can deal with as a money claim. So if we strip Adam and Bob's situation back to basics, it looks like this. Adam is a sole trader electrician. Bob was Adam's client. Adam completed the work. Adam sent the invoice. Bob did not pay. At that point, Adam may look at the situation and ask, is this a civil debt claim? Have I identified the right defendant? And is the amount worth pursuing? If those points appear to be in order, then the matter may be suitable for a money claim. And that is the key word here. May. This video is a general guide to understanding the process. It is not telling anyone what they should do in their own case. And it is not a substitute for getting proper legal advice on specific facts. Because in the real world, details matter, documents matter, timing matters. And unfortunately, Bob's ability to vanish when payment is mentioned also matters. So the main takeaway from this first stage is simple. Before thinking about issuing a claimant would usually want to check that the dispute is genuinely about money owed, that the correct defendant has been identified, and that the claim is worth pursuing. That is the starting point. And if nothing else, Adam now knows that while rewiring a kitchen may be easier than chasing an invoice, at least the fuse box usually responds eventually. If you want to see how Adam's litigation story unfolds in the next thrilling episode, including the pre-action steps, chasing the debtor, and the legendary letter before claim, the bit you're really here for, let's be honest. Click subscribe and ring the bell below to catch what happens next.